I'm Cindy Page, and I will be playing Lieutenant Commander and Cheif Engineer Izottiat Azollarh. I'm a local improviser and theater maker, I guess. But yeah, I do a lot of theater tech and costuming and prop building, that kind of thing. But also, I just like making things. Maker, breaker, and creative problem solver. Let's see, what have I played? I played White Wolf in college. We did sort of a mishmash of, I think we started off doing werewolf and then mage. Basically, some of my friends had already started a campaign and suckered a few of us into joining them, but like we had to start with lower level characters. So basically we got to burn through a lot of lower level characters that all died, and then while their guys kept leveling up. Yeah, I've also played some modified D&D Pathfinder stuff with a friend who sort of likes to do his own homebrew games, and I'm back into playing just plain old D&D. We've got a 5th edition all ladies crew going at the moment that meets every once in a while. Very different. Yeah, it's kind of breaking my brain because of the whole like 20 bad, 1 good thing. It's been great for some of my dice that have historically been horrible to me when playing D&D because, hey look, low numbers are good now. The game system is very different than others that I've played, but because it's so open-ended, I'm really excited to see what we can get into. And also the universe, of course, is so fleshed out and has so much infinite potential. We'll have so much room to play. I was really small when Next Generation started, but as far as I can remember, I think we watched pretty much every episode as it came out, because like I just remember like we would just watch Star Trek on whatever evenings it came on, and so you know, I have these very, very young memories of that series, and then when DS9 came on, it actually came on later. It came on at 9 o'clock at night, which was my bedtime. And so I would go to bed. Our house was set up in such a way that I could sneak back down the hall and sort of hide in the front entryway and see into the living room where the TV was. So I think probably my brother was probably up watching that, maybe my dad, and I would sit there and watch. I mean, TNG is like the Star Trek for me. But and especially given that I've now watched it several times, like obviously I've got a big old soft spot for DS9. Yeah, it's DS9. My favorite captain is such a difficult question because, you know, Picard is the captain. And that was, you know, the one that I grew up with primarily, like that was the first captain, so. Avery Brooks is such a gem, and just watching what they did with Sisko, because they basically had to take, you know, Picard was this sort of anti-Kirk, and then what do you do for the next guy? They've got to be enlightened like Picard, but can't just be stuffy like Picard. So, okay, let's take a guy who's not quite ready for command yet, and we're gonna put him in charge of this thing. You know, it's that classic fish out of water. They threw him in way over his head. It wasn't supposed to be any big thing, and then he found himself in the middle of this giant event when the wormhole opened up, and just getting to watch him grow into Captain Sisko is so wonderful. Doing the single dad thing was fairly novel at the time, and getting to watch that just wonderful relationship that he has with his son. You know, Picard was fairly anti-macho himself, but then Sisko almost takes that a step further because it's like he's a father, he's got a son, there's all of this emotional background that we hadn't seen before. And really all of the characters in DS9 are fleshed out like that. Izottiat goes by Izzy for short, or Iz. She's Andorian. She's solidly middle-aged. She's in her 60s. She comes from a very proud Andorian family that has followed the proudest of Andorian traditions, which is serving in the military for basically forever. They were part of the Andorian military before the Federation existed, and then have been officers in Starfleet, or have been members of Starfleet ever since. So she grew up on the shipyards on Luna. One of her parents, and I'm still working out the details, but one of her parents was basically the first senior officer in the family, was security chief on base. But her family, mostly worked in security, but there's sort of now a line of weapons specialists. So that's how she sort of got an interest in engineering instead of just security, and basically landed in, operations? The operations track at the academy, and decided that this building things thing is kind of more fun than the shooting things thing. So she ended up going engineering track. For some reason, she ended up getting stuck on this Constellation ship out in the sticks, doing pretty boring routine patrols, nothing too sexy, but she really loves that ship, and she's taken really good care of it, and it's her pride and joy. The crew is her family, and she just absolutely, this is where she is, and she's making the best of every single second. The Mazu would probably be pretty close to retirement, if not already retired by now, but because of the work she's done, it's actually in really good shape. There's a few sort of inherent flaws with those Constellation class ships that she's made sure to fix up. I'm just really excited to work with this group. I already know all of the other players. I've worked with all of them on various projects. I've mostly sort of socially hung out with Kate, so it's going to be really fun to finally get to do a project with her, because I just love talking to her and love seeing the creative work that she's done elsewhere. I'm super stoked to see how it all comes together as a unit. Everyone's put so much effort into their characters and come up with such interesting and really diverse characters. Everyone's sort of taken the same basic rule set, but run in completely different directions, which I love. Thanks for watching. We're gonna be kicking this party off. We'll be starting Tuesday, March 12th at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can catch us on twitch.tv/weirdlings. Thanks.